Hi, Joe. Thank you so much for taking the time out for us, our audience, in this episode. I really appreciate it. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yep, it's absolutely my pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine.
Yeah.
I just always want to bring over guests with a different background, like a coaches and consultants. So you was like one of them, which I saw your profile on LinkedIn and everything. So wanted to know more about you, more about your journey. So tell us about yourself, like how you got started with the life coaching and what you used to do before that, and what inspired you to become a life coach and helping others.
Okay. Well, it began. I ended up. I worked for corporate America for most of my career. I was a general manager for a major manufacturing plant.
Yeah.
And all along that journey, I always had people telling me that you'd be great as either a motivational speaker or a life coach.
Yeah.
And I had enough people eventually tell me that I decided to look into what it would take to become a certified life coach. So I researched the internet, selected a program, and that was in 2006. I became certified as a life coach with a company called Comprehensive Coaching U, Terry Levine program, which is an excellent certification process, excellent program for getting getting into the life coaching business, because she teaches you not only how to become a life coach, but how to identify your niche and how to market yourself and those types of things. So as I went along, I kept my corporate job for a while, and then of course COVID happened. And then when COVID happened, the company that I worked for, in its infinite wisdom, decided that they needed to get rid of their more expensive, higher price, more expensive older workers. And so I looked at that as being a really great opportunity to take something that I was doing part-time and eventually jump into it and start doing it full-time. So I've been doing it full-time since then.
Yeah, so the turning point happened like last year, right? 2020, when the lockdown and everything's happening. Yeah.
Yep, the beginning of 2020, when all of a sudden I found myself on the having to make a decision to leave corporate America. Actually, they made it for me.
Yeah.
And but luckily, I had done enough motivational speaking and enough life coaching that I was able to fall back on that. So,
yeah,
and
and
I've been going full bore with it since then. So,
yeah, that's great. Actually, like a 2020, we needed like a more motivational person, like who can inspire us and guide us through during the tough times. So people like yourself, we really needed that in 2020, even though right now still we're in a chaotic moment. So yeah, it's a great time. Like obviously God has a plan for you to start over on the tough times and inspire other people. So like tell us about, since then, like who do you actually work with? Do you work with everyone, or do you have any specific niche?
Yep, I do. I basically work with people that are struggling in whatever aspect of their life.
Yeah.
Some people are struggling financially. Some people are struggling because they don't know what career path they want to go on. Some people are struggling because they want some things in their life, but they don't know how to go about and get it.
Yeah.
One of the things that I talk to a lot of people about is The Secret, which was the movie. There were millions and millions of people that saw that movie and or read the book. And I think that Linda Byrne did a great job as far as that movie is concerned, as far as the book's concerned, but I don't think she took it quite far enough. Because a lot of people think, well, if I I have positive thoughts, then why aren't the things that I want happening in my life? Why am I still feel like I'm stuck? Well, that's where I come in as far as a coach is concerned. I help people take it to the next step. I help people to learn that it's not only positive thinking, but it's also about feelings. And then it's also about getting into action. Sitting down on your couch and having positive thoughts all day isn't going to get you what you want. People aren't going to call you and ask you to buy your product if you're selling a product. People aren't going to call you and ask you to come and pitch your book on their program by sitting on your couch. So you've got to have your feelings first, manifestation second, and then third, get into action. So I help people in those three aspects: the manifestation, the feelings, and then also what to do to get into action. So we actually set a game plan for people, and I'm kind of an accountability coach also.
Right.
So we set a game plan for people, and they actually come up with that game plan themselves. And then on our next meeting, the meeting after that, we see what steps they've actually taken in order to move closer towards to what they actually want to bring into their life.
Yeah, that's really, really great. So in
Mhm.
terms of like you mentioned yourself, like you're a motivational speaker yourself.
Mhm.
So what specifically like you talk about mostly? What is the
Mainly,
main point?
the motivational speaking business, of course, kind of tanked during COVID because nobody was
Yeah.
meeting. And so, but
Yeah.
it's just now starting to come back. What I talk about is the law of attraction and what it is, or the thoughts become things. I just recently got certified with Andy Dooley in the TEP program, Infinite Possibilities. I did that certification training last weekend. So I'll be doing some training as far as that's concerned and holding infinite possibility classes,
Mhm.
number one. And then number two, when I speak to people, I talk about what is the law of attraction, what are thoughts become things. And then number three, I give them some tools that they can use during that talk in order to actually make some major changes happen to them within the next couple of days of their life if they actually dip into that toolbox and use some of the things that I suggested that they do. So my talks are typically 45 minutes to an hour long,
Yeah.
and and then I like to leave some people with tools, and then my contact information. If people want to follow up with that, then they can.
Yeah.
If they want to dive deeper into it and learn more about it, then they can attend one of my Infinite Possibilities trainings, or we can do some one-to-one coaching.
Right. Yeah, that's great thing. Like, so you're really passionate about law of attraction, and that's
I
our
am.
center point of the topic on this podcast.
Uh-huh.
And none of our guests haven't been talked about law of attraction, so it'll be like a great thing you can touch on this topic. I'll be grateful because none of our audience have listened to
Yep.
law of attraction in this podcast. So tell us about what is the law of attraction and how does it actually works in our day-to-day life?
Yep. Well, law of attraction, basically, there's a definition that I have as far as the law of attraction is concerned, and it's basically what it is. It's that anything we give our energy, attention, and focus to, we bring into our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But there's two more aspects to that, and so it's whether it be positive or negative.
Yeah.
So as human beings, when we have a thought, it can only be positive or a negative thought, and your mind can't hold a positive and negative thought at the same time in your mind. So basically, the law of attraction, it surrounds us. It's around us all of the time. It's a vibrational energy. It's that's out there that's constantly reading how you're feeling. We have 60,000 thoughts a day, and as a human beings, most of those thoughts are negative thoughts.
Yeah.
So the idea is recognizing those negative thoughts, changing that around, so that you're having more positive thoughts. And a positive thought is 10,000 times more powerful than a negative thought. So as we're going about the course of our day, law of attraction is constantly reading what your thought is and matching that thought. And it doesn't know the difference between a positive and a negative thought. So if a person doesn't, well, I tell people, take a look at your life. If you don't like the life that you're living, if you don't like what's happening in your life, then you have the power to change it. And only you have the power to change it. And the power to change it is only a thought, a feeling, and a step away.
Yeah. So do you think the law of attraction really works in terms of like we just thinking about positive things or thinking about negative things without like doing any actions?
Mm-hmm. That it absolutely won't work. I kind of liken it to, say, for instance, a GPS system that you might, have on your phone or might have in your car. When you get into your car and the GPS system comes on, you put whatever your destination is going to be into that GPS system.
Yeah.
And then that GPS system will tell you turn by turn by turn the direction to go in order to arrive at that particular destination. And if you don't ever put your car in gear, you don't put it in reverse, back out of your driveway, put it in drive and start actually moving forward, that GPS system will just sit there and absolutely do nothing. So, so that's I think a good analogy for having someone feel or know that they actually need to get into action. So it's not our job to be able to determine how we're going to get there, or how whatever it is that we want to bring into our life is going to happen. All it is to set the vibration, let's have the thought of what it is we want, and then let the universe or whatever your belief system is work it out for you.
Yeah.
So like I said, you can sit and think positive all day long, but if you're sitting and thinking positive all day long, it's never going to happen for you.
Yeah,
so what you must do is you must define whatever it is that you want, or the changes you would like to experience in terms of results, and then visualize them as if you've already have them, and then let I say get rid of the cursed hows, release how it's going to come to you, because whatever it is that you want to bring into your life, whether that be a relationship, whether that be job, whether that be financial abundance, whether that could be improved health, is probably not going to come to you the way that you think it's going to come to you. That's why you've got to be open to all possibilities and allow those possibilities to come into your life.
Yeah. So we have to have do you think written plan in order to law of attraction to work? So having a vision board, 5 years plan, 10 years plan, or do you think only it just work on the mentally? We're thinking about it before we go sleep or wake up in the morning, thinking about positive things and taking the action to it. But do you think it really works if someone writing it down on their journal, and probably yearly plan or monthly plan?
Writing, journaling is certainly, I highly recommend journaling, because if you write something down, it has a way of maybe implanting it further and deeper into your subconscious than simply just having the thought.
Yeah.
What I tell people to do is I teach people to do is to write a desire statement down. Kind of like I'm in the process of attracting all I need to do, know, or have to attract the ideal, whatever it is in my life. So an example of that would be I love knowing that my ideal partner lives in my city. If you're wanting to attract an ideal partner, I love how it feels when doing the bank deposits for my business. That certifies abundance. I'm excited about the thought of traveling with my ideal mate. If you want to manifest a travel partner, I love having a full client base. If you're a life coach, or if you're trying to sell something, and I love seeing myself making healthy food choices. So you've got to be able to, you can write down that desire statement, and actually, as you're writing it down, that tends to solidify it and bring it more in the subconscious mind. More important is having the feelings associated with having a full client base. What's it going to feel like if you get up every morning and you know that you've got business that's going to be happening, or what is it going to feel like if you're traveling with someone that you've tried to attract, and you're having the time of your life running around the world seeing beautiful places, or making healthy food choices. So what's going to feel like as you start to peel off some weight and you're feeling better and you have more energy and you're moving better, those types of things. And a vision board certainly is a way to do that too. There are a lot of people that have vision boards that they can get up and look at every single day. But it's more than just looking at it. It's looking at that picture and then actually feeling like you're in that picture.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about. Another thing, I want to touch on this. So even though someone got the vision board, like you mentioned, there is a life coach who got some client and thinking about having a client. So in terms of let's say someone had a desire to work with the 10 clients every single month, or by end of the year, I'm going to work with 50 people. But even though they visualize themselves, they had a vision board, they've written it down, everything, they thought about positive. But oftentimes, we don't control that. If someone's going to buy our course, or someone's going to work with us one-on-one, or the person we want to get married to, or someone we want to propose to, that person going to like us or not. There's an out of control, right? So how does the law of attraction works on that kind of situation, which one we're uncertain about the future and we don't control over?
What I teach people is not to set a specific goal or specific a specific number or specific number of clients, those
Yeah.
types of things. If instead of saying, hey, I want, to have $1 million or £1 million or whatever,
Yeah.
that, set financial abundance, as the end result. But if a person says, hey, I want to have, 50 clients by the end, and then they end up getting like none or zero or 10 or whatever, fall dramatically short of their goal,
Yeah.
then they have to sit down and actually think about, okay, what thoughts am I thinking? Am I thinking about what I don't want? I don't want that client to cancel. I don't want that person not to buy my product, because there's 3 words that a lot of people need to eliminate from the vocabulary. Those words are don't, not, no. Michael Lozay from the who wrote the Law of Attraction book came up with that concept, and everything has its opposite. So if you don't want your clients to cancel, then then the opposite of that is that you want your clients to to be on time and to be there. If you want people to buy your product, you can't think about them not wanting to buy that product.
Mm-hmm.
So if something that doesn't come into your life, the way that you want it, then you need to know that the law of attraction will somehow, some way deliver to you what you want. It may not come in the form of 50 clients. It might come in the form of only 30 clients, but one client might lead you to another 10 clients. Yeah. That's why you've got to be open to all the possibilities that you possibly can. Be open to absolutely everything, because it works it does work, but it works only if, number one, you've put in your energy to it. Number two, if you're focused on the end result, and number three, you're moving in that direction. And it's not necessarily going to work in the timeline that you want it to work either.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing you've got to be open to also.
Yeah, it's like having an open mindset, right? So The goal, if you set for like 12 months, instead of 12, it could be 18 months. So eventually it's going to work, right? You have to have like a positive attraction all the time, positive mindset, and have the open mind to it, like for a future.
Yeah, and the faster that you can, a lot of people say, well, I'm going to have 50 clients. I want to have 50 clients by the end of this year.
Yeah.
But one of the questions you got to ask yourself: do you really believe that you're going to have 50 clients by the end of the year? Mm-hmm. And thoughts that might creep in are, well, I've never had 50 clients in my life, or can I really get out there and talk to enough people to attract 50 clients? So if there's doubt, fear, or any of those negative emotions that creep into your thought process, those things stop the flow of the law of attraction. Law of attraction only works if you set up a direct link to whatever it is you want. If you tune into whatever it is you want and have that feeling associated with it. I liken it to, say, for instance, if I want to listen to a radio station, 94.1 FM on my FM dial. Well, if I'm at 96.2 or if I'm at 98.1, I'm not going to be able to listen to what's on 94.1. Not until I fine tune it and get to 94.1 is that signal going to come in loud and clear. I'm going to be able to listen to what I want. Law of attraction works the same way. Once you set up that vibration, match that vibration with the law of attraction, then a series of events, people, things, seeming coincidences, although I don't believe in coincidences, will all of a sudden happen. Law of attraction will put you in a position, and if you're open to those, will put you in a position in order to have that thing have whatever it is that you want to come into your life more often. For instance, if you're wanting to manifest, a relationship, you might go through 3 or 4 or 5 different, relationships until you get to the one that you want. But you had to go through those 3 or 4 in order to set you up for the one that eventually, that you wake up one day and go, wow, I can't believe that this person's in my life. Wow, I can't believe that I've got this promotion at work. wow, I can't believe I've got this client base now. So,
Yeah.
and there's sometimes there's a learning curve or a long process involved in this in that, but those are the things that you have to go through in order to attract those things into your life.
Yeah. So like whoever wants to start the same mindset with the law of attraction, let's say they have newer resolution because the 2021 is just ending. We're in a Q4 anyway.
Yeah, we're getting towards the end of it, aren't we?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
now it's Christmas coming, law celebration, Thanksgiving coming as well for US. So like without like all of the distraction from like all the celebration and holidays and everything. So if someone wants to have like a goal for 2022, because this year probably not for everyone was like a great year. Probably some people lost their job, some people lost their businesses, some people lost their loved one as well. Everyone got suffered some way and another. So those who wants to start fresh for new year, they have the big goals, big achievement. Do you think they have certain realistic goal to achieve, or have like a bigger goals to they can target with the law of attraction, which is works better with the law of attraction?
What works better with the law of attraction is setting what I call big bag goals or big audacious goals. Like I alluded to earlier, when goal setting, like I said, don't set the goal to make $1 million. Set the goal to have financial abundance.
Right.
Set the goal to have enough money to where you don't have to worry about money. Set the goal. Say, for instance, if you want to get in shape for the new year, set the goal for improved health. Not that you're going to weigh, you're going to knock off 50 pounds and you're going to get, you're going to be able to bench this much, just talk about, you're going to wake up in 2022 and have a healthy, more vibrant body with unbounded energy. So those are the types of things that I tell people to do, not to set, a specific number. And then if you say, I want to improve health or something better, I want, financial abundance or something better. So whatever it is, the thought in your mind, hold on, that didn't show up on my screen. Whatever the thought is that you put into your mind, you want to make sure that you don't limit yourself to, say, for instance, 50 clients or $1 million or £1 million or whatever. It's something kind of vague, but it is what you want, or something better.
Yeah. So most of the time, like we hear all of them, big motivational speaker, big gurus, they like have certain kind of goals. Like I want $1 million, I want X amount of revenue for my business. They have like a numbers, or like I want to lose 24 pounds by end of 3 months or 6 month time. All is the number game. So and you saying like don't go for the numbers. Don't
limit yourself to to a ton number. I mean, if you ask for $1 million or $1 million or £1 million, and the universe would have delivered you 2 or 3 million pounds, it's set the goal for financial abundance in 2022, and have the feeling associated with what it's going to be like to wake up and have excess money in my bank account at the end of every single month, instead of just barely being able to pay rent or barely being able to pay my bills. What is that feeling going to feel like, knowing that I have so much money flowing in that, if I decide that I want to buy something, I can just go buy it. Or if I want to, start investing, I can start investing. Have all my bills paid for by the end of the month. What's that going to feel like to you to have that happen, have your bills paid for, and then have money left over? Look at those types of things. But if you set, a goal to make $1 million or £1 million, or lose 24 pounds by the end of, within 3 months or something like that, those goals tend to fall by the wayside, because people lose hope, and people start thinking negative, and they start thinking about what they don't want, and then they end up abandoning those goals because they don't see any progress happening coming to them for that. So
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Like I used to think always when I beginning of the career I started, we're gonna do in the first year 250,000 in revenue. That didn't really happen. Then I got so disappointed, and
Sure.
then it didn't feel like working anymore. But like from like last 1 or 2 years, I changed my mindset. Instead of like having a revenue goal, what I tend to have like the process goal. So
Hmm.
what I can do in day to day in order to keep on moving forward. Yeah, it doesn't really have any kind of X amount of numbers like we have to hit 50 grand a month or 100 grand a month in revenue. We don't really have that, but we have what is the possible limitless. Like we can make a million with same amount of work we are doing. That we can make a 2 million or 3 million in revenue for a month
Hmm.
and working same amount of work and keep moving forward. We're progressing on our work. We are making ourselves better in our work,
Yeah.
servicing our clients, doing the outreach we needed to do, and all of the works in need to be involved. Same with the like weight loss, because I was around 96 kg, about 24 kg extra. So I didn't have the goal like I need to be that kind of lose 20 kg in 3 months or 6 months, because I tried that and didn't really happen within like 4 months or something. I had the goal, only lost
Mhm.
about 4 or 5 kg, and I was disappointed. Instead of
Mhm.
that, I have a balanced diet for forever. I have a
Mhm.
balanced meal every single time. I need to go walk 2 3 times,
Mhm.
if possible in the daytime, and do some sports. Like right now, I'm just going 2 hours of badminton session twice a
Mhm.
week. So
Mhm.
always like I don't enjoy going to gym. It's not me. I have to push myself going because I don't enjoy this process. So
Mhm.
same again, like don't have any kind of like a goal in my mind, what
Mhm.
type of numbers I'm going to do. It's eventually is happening. Right now I can see the changes. I got lots of stamina.
Mhm.
I'm feeling better. I got lots of energy. Also my weight is going lower as well. So it's working automatically.
Mhm.
So yeah, I can relate to you where you mentioned with don't have the numbers, go
Mhm.
for like a bigger picture, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's the process. It's
Yeah.
not, it's and then eventually that process will take you to where you want to go.
Hmm.
It's actually getting out there, getting into action, and taking the steps. Know that when you do an activity, is it an income producing activity? Is it an activity that's going to move me closer to my goal?
Yeah.
But if you're just sitting thinking, you're going to make £1 million, want to attract £1 million, and then you don't do anything as far as that process, number one, it's hard to get the belief or the faith that that's going to actually happen. And number two, you're not giving the universe or the law of attraction any opportunity to bring you any opportunities in order to make that happen, to put the
Yeah.
people, circumstances, and events in your life to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It
So,
just
say for instance, I'll give you an example.
yeah.
I decided that I wanted to get in better shape and feel better.
Mm.
So I kind of put that out there that I want to feel better and I want to get in better shape. Well, all of a sudden, I had somebody that I ran into talk to me about a program called 75 Hard,
Right.
and it's kind of it's a program that's kind of sweeping the nation, the United States now anymore these days. But anyway, I researched the program and decided that I wanted to do it, and I wanted to lose 30 pounds. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to increase my stamina. I wanted to be stronger, and so I decided to do the program, which is a free program, 75
Yeah.
Hard. And so I did two workouts a day, drank a gallon of water a day, followed a special diet, uh, read 10 minutes excuse me, 10 pages out of a nonfiction motivational book every single day.
Yeah.
Anyway, 75 days later, finished the program, didn't really get on the scale and weigh myself a couple of times during the whole process, but I'm stronger now after doing 150 workouts. Drank 75 gallons of water. I read 5 motivational books. I followed a special diet and ended up losing 30 pounds. And it's been a while since I've done the program, and I've still kept it off. But
Wow.
had I set my goal to lose 30 pounds, I don't think I would have done it. So, but it was the process of getting up every
Yeah.
day and having the mental wherewithal in order to get my 2 workouts in a day, 45 minutes apiece, and they have to be at least 3 hours apart. Drink my gallon of water every single day, no matter what came into my life, and then believing in the process and believing that it was actually going to happen. So there's an example. I think that's a good example right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can relate you to that. Like I see a lot of people, like especially young women, they tend to skip their meals because of they want to get weight loss. I need to lose that 30 pound or 20 pound. They skip the meals. They're not drinking enough because the main goal is not their stamina. The main goal is not like how I want to be look nice on the mirror when I look at myself. The main goal is like how to lose the 20 pound. And process of that, they're not eating healthy. They're not drinking enough. They're not having a sleep better. And eventually it doesn't really last long. So you're probably going to lose that 20 pounds. Some people, they do. Then eventually, enjoying the diet you had for the past 3 months in order to do that. Then you go back on it again. Your old habit, not drinking enough. The routine is not there. It's not like a long-term solution. Same again with the business. People can make the $1 million. They can do anything. They probably can work 18 hours, 24 hours. Some people tend to work 24 hours a day work-wise. They sleep after 2 days. And I've seen them kind of people. But eventually you're losing yourself. What's going to happen, even though you make the $1 million or £1 million, eventually you lost yourself, you ruined your body, you ruined your relationship. And by process of doing that. So you have to have a balanced lifestyle in order to achieve the goal. Also the focus on the process. Things gonna start happening. It's like it's a marathon. Life is a marathon. Like you keep moving forward rather than sprinting towards the your goal, right?
Basically it's a series of baby steps, constantly moving yourself forward. Because in life, we're either moving forward or we're sliding backwards. And some people get stuck in a rut to where they think, okay, my life is okay. It's doing okay. So they stop doing the things that got them to where they are. And then eventually, if people stop doing those things, if they stop improving on a day-to-day basis and stop moving forward, pretty soon you're going to find yourself sliding backwards. And that's what happens to a lot of people. If they stop doing those things, and pretty soon they slide back a little bit, they slide back a little bit more, slide back a little more. And then they end up in this huge cauldron or hole that they got to. And then they wonder how in the world they got there. And it's the thoughts that they thought, and the feelings that they had that brought them to that point. And the only way that they're going to change it is to change their thoughts, change their actions, and change their feelings. And if they continually start to move forward on a continuous basis from that point on, they'll see great improvements in their life. Like I preach personal accountability a lot because a lot of people like to look outside of themselves for things that are wrong with them. If I had a different mother, or a different father, that I probably would have had a better life. If my boss wasn't so mean to me, I would probably like my job a little bit better. If. When really, if you take a look at it, you're the one that created that. So, and no one can create in your reality, just like you can't create in someone else's reality. So if you got your sights set on, say, for instance, a certain girlfriend, you can't create in her reality and make her like you. And
absolutely.
And it might be the law of attraction saying, hey, this particular girl is not the one that's one for you. I've got one that's better, that's waiting for you down the road. And you just need to set your sights on selecting or attracting the right mate instead of a specific mate, or enough money instead of a specific amount of money, or the right job instead of that job. So, like I said, set the intention of what you want, have the feeling associated with it, and then let go of how it's going to happen. And too many people think that the path that they're on, that's the way it's got to happen, when it might be something out here or something over here, or there might be something that ends up in their email box, or a friend calls them about an opportunity, or whatever. You got to be open to all possibilities.
Right. Yeah. So you work with a lot of individuals, coaching them, helping them through. Yeah. So what people comes with the problem, what do you see the actual problem, changing their mindset? what's the common problem at the beginning? How's their mindset is working?
The common problem at the beginning is that when someone comes to me and they want to work on a specific area of their life that perhaps is causing them trouble or consternation or whatever.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, probably the most difficult thing is that you are where you are because of the thoughts that you think you're the one that created it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, how did I create this? If my boss was, nicer to me, I wouldn't be here. If my mother hadn't done this, I wouldn't be here. Or if my friend hadn't, or my girlfriend hadn't cheated on me, I wouldn't be here. So convincing people that, that the thoughts that they're thinking is what's creating their life for them. And once we get them past that, okay, I take full responsibility for where I am. Now, how do I change it? And that's where we develop, or I help them develop a step-by-step program based upon the law of attraction to help move their life forward. And then give them some tools associated with that, such as visualization, writing a desire statement, those types of things. And if I can get people to sit down and visualize as little as 5 minutes per day, then that makes a huge difference also. And there's visualization is another tool. It's another big way that a person can actually sit down and get the feelings associated with having whatever it is that they want. But you got to believe, I think the biggest thing is you've got to believe that whatever you want, that you can actually have it. So the universal law of allowing plays a part of it too. And that is that whatever comes into your life, that you allow it to happen. And you got to get rid of the feelings of inadequacy. You don't deserve it. Other people deserve to be rich. I don't. You got to get rid of the victim mode. And once you get rid of the victim mode and start allowing all of these things that come into your life, then things will start. All of a sudden, the floodgates will open up, and things will start flooding in on a pretty rapid basis.
Yeah. To touch on that, like I see, like I mentioned earlier as well, like a lot of people lost their job, a lot of people got bankrupt and lost their business, and probably industry been disrupted. So those people, or even though lost their loved one, those people are proper like on the ground right now, and they lost their money, probably finances is not right. Also, like in self-confidence, self-doubt has been crippled up as well. So those people wants to think big and looking forward in the future, and using a law of attraction, how they can back themselves up and put themselves in the forward.
Okay. Well, one of the very first things is that know that the universal law of polarity talks about the law, which is the law of opposites. There really isn't any such thing as bad in this world. Right. All the horrible things that have ever happened in this world, or happened to you, or happened to other people, things that that happened to other people, there's always some good that always came out of it, one way or another. So the universal law of polarity basically says that everything has its opposite. The only reason we know day is because of night, and the only reason we know hot is because of cold, and the only reason we know bad is because of good.
Yeah.
So if you can get into the mindset that, okay, I lost my job and I lost my source of income, and I've got, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I don't have enough money in order to make ends meet. First of all, you get rid of the don't have enough money, because there's the don't word, and start thinking about I do have enough money, and write a desire statement. So say, for instance, a desire statement, you put contrast on one side, and then you put clarity on the other side. So if you wanted to create an ideal financial situation, contrast might be not enough money, but on the other side, a better feeling thought might be, I have an abundance of money.
Yeah.
Contrast statement might be, I always have bills to pay, and on the other side of that, I have more than enough money coming in to pay my bills easily and quickly. I just make ends meet might be your contrast statement. Well, an excess of money, always have an excess of money might be a better feeling thought. So always reach for that better feeling thought. I can't afford anything I want. Well, always, you can think, well, I always have enough money to purchase anything that I want. I never win anything. I have a lot of people that say anything. Well, I don't even bother to enter contests or enter those types of things because I never win anything. And you can say I win often, receive gifts and many free things. So you can sit and think about all the free things that you get in life. I used to be a member of a networking club, and they had multiple networking events throughout the month. Right. Well, I always threw my business card in, and I won so much month after month after month because I expected to win, that eventually it got to the point that when I walked in the room, I'd have people say, "Oh, he's here." I might as well even put my business card into the drawing pot because he's probably going to win it. Mm-hmm. And so it's all about looking at exactly where you are, feeling good about where you are, knowing that there's some good that's going to come out of what happened to you, and then start putting yourself out there and moving in the direction, having the mindset, knowing, okay, I lost this job. Yeah. And it's going to lead me to an opportunity. I don't know what that opportunity is right now, but boy, it's going to be great when it comes. And it's probably going to end up making more money than what I was making before, which often happens to a lot of people. Yeah. So it's accepting responsibility for where you are, setting an intention, setting a goal of creating of replacing your income or something more or something better, and then putting yourself out there in the correct mindset to attract a new opportunity. And it may not even be in the field that you're in. I came from manufacturing, and now I'm doing life coaching and motivational speaking. So
it's a different journey, isn't it? I was a primary school teacher in 2015. I didn't know I'm going to do online marketing business and also doing podcasting and talking about life. So Is life interesting? Yeah, you have no clue what God has planted for you. So
you don't.
Journey. Yeah.
No, so, and you can't. And we don't have the choice in this you don't have any idea what God has planned for you, number one. But number two, but you got to be open for what it is that they have planned for you. And Absolutely. You can, with relatively certainty, bring whatever it is that you want in your life, but you just got to be open to how it's going to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's for me. So I just want to clarify to understand more about it. So you're doing your own business, right? You're self-employed and yes. You're doing coaching. So in terms of like your own business, your mindset as a business owner, do you have any kind of revenue goals you do for 12 months or monthly, or do you have certain clients, amount of clients I need to work every single month? Do you have any kind of goal like that in terms of like bringing a new business?
I do. One of the things about being in the business that I'm being in, I can be as busy as I want to be. Yeah. And so I have a certain number of clients that I want to work with every single month. Right. And so what I do is I set that goal is that I want to have a full schedule, and I kind of set a number as to what the full schedule is for me every single month. And as a result, I have that, plus I have a waiting list of people that are waiting to coach with me. Mm-hmm. So my goal is so I wake up every morning with a great feeling that I get to coach people, and I have a full client base, and I get to work as much as I want to work. If I want to take time off, I take time off. Like we're going on vacation next week, so next week I have my schedule completely, totally open, and no one's going to tell me when I can go on vacation or when I have to come back. If I want to, spend another week out wherever I am because I'm enjoying myself, I can do that. But yeah, I set business goals for myself and revenue goals for myself, and I feel like, and I have no doubt that I'm going to achieve them. And I have the feeling associated with what it's like to wake up and look at my calendar and say, wow, I've got a full schedule today. So. Yeah. So like you do have like a numbers goal, right? The revenue wise. I do. Yeah. And it's always that number or something better, because I don't want to listen. I don't want to limit myself. And I've always exceeded that number or something better.
Right. So you say like, this is the minimum number I need to hit. If it's more comes in, that's totally fine, right?
Oh yeah. 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 And if less comes in, then also I have to take a look at, okay, what activities did I do during the month? Did I do enough activity? Because I know the activities that I need to do in order to generate whatever it is I want to generate. And so I have to take a look at that and say, okay, did I do enough income producing activities? I call them IPAs. In order to generate that month. Did I do enough coaching sessions during the month to be able to generate that number? Did I talk to enough people? Do I have enough people on my waiting list? Did I do those types of things? If there's a shortfall on a revenue number that you didn't hit, it's not the law of attraction not working, it's you not working.
Right.
Or you're not doing enough of the right activities, or you need to look at what activities you're doing and seeing if they're actually producing any type of results or any type of revenue for you.
Absolutely.
Spending an hour straightening your desk is not going to produce anything, or spending an hour surfing Facebook is not going to do anything for you. You got to take a look at the things that are producing income for you and do more of those. The law of large numbers says that if you do enough of a certain activity, that a pattern is going to emerge. And I know that if I talk to 10 new people, that I'm probably going to get 1 or 2 clients out of that. So if I want to generate for my waiting list, I want to keep it at around about 10 or 15 people. I want to put 10 to 15 people. I know that I got to talk to probably 150, 200 people during the month in order to keep that list where it is.
Yeah.
And if I don't, and the list goes down, and all of a sudden I have a client cancel on me or decide that they don't need coaching anymore, and I don't have a person to put into that slot, then it's me to blame, not law of attraction.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do enough of the activities that I needed to do to generate that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that was a really great value you shared, and I appreciate that. So we are running out of the time for this podcast.
Okay. Yeah, it's been great. I love talking about this stuff. So it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, pleasure is mine. I learned a lot from you as well. For those who wants to work with you and learn more about you, how they can reach out and find out?
I have a website called createsuccesswithjoe.com.
Yeah. And you have a social media?
What's that?
You have a social media?
I do. I'm going to put in the chat. This is my fan page. I have a Create Success with Joe page also on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then LinkedIn. Let me put my LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn profile too. They can connect with me there. That's how we connected.
Yeah.
And then Twitter, I'm at Joe Sweeney. So those are 3 really good ways to get a hold of me.
Yeah, that's great. So thank you so much, Joe, taking the time out for our audience and for me. I really appreciate it. We learned a lot of valuable things from me on law of attraction and how to implement it. And to be honest, it really helped me as well for understanding. I really needed to know about law of attraction in deep. So I learned it from you as well. So hope our audience get the value from it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have this infinite possibilities training that I'm going to have coming up. So if people are interested in doing that, since I just got certified last weekend, my first one is going to be part of a beta group. Mm-hmm. And so if someone wants to be part of that beta group, which would be the first and only time I'll be offering it for free, it's 3 sessions at 2 hours a session. So I'll be glad to entertain anybody that's listening to this. If they want to get a hold of me and find out how they can sign up for that, I'll be glad to get them involved with that. So
yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your vacation next week and enjoy your rest of your day.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great time. So I'm looking forward to it. So I appreciate, it's I've been studying the law of attraction for about 15 years, and it's pretty tough to get it all in within an hour, but we tried our best.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a wrap, guys. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I appreciate if you go and check out Joey's website and his social media if you want to work with him, so you can do so. So till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and take care of yourself. Thank you.